Voyageur Squadron 14, A Tale of Interstellar Seduction. Part 2, The Sexual Beast Awakens. Another glass of Mulgarian honeyflux, my intergalactic temptress, Lone asked his scantily clad lover, Amelia Spark. Laying sideways on his interstellar sleeping pad, her oiled skin glistening like one of the so many moons of Tyrelius 14, or would you prefer the essence of larvalade from the deepest magma pits of Donrelius 17, robotically distilled from the branch of Nelgarius, aged in a cargo hold on Finicus 9 for nearly 10 parsecs, and exported across the galaxy by Galatian servant boys? I've heard the trees of Sunberius can be quite plentiful this time of year, he whispered seductively, dropping a space grape into her mouth. The trees he spoke of were part of a biorumigation project, a mostly humanitarian movement spearheaded by the ambitious but sexually repressed Dominicans. Once a proud warrior race, they had largely abandoned their nomadic, sex-obsessed ways after their ruler, Dominicus III, had broadcasted himself intergalactically in some rather compromising positions, taken almost directly from the Kama Sutra. They realized a long time ago, as we all do someday, that space can be a very sordid place for the faint of heart. It was then that Lone noticed that two things were terribly out of place here. One was that the larvalade Amelia Spark just drank had spilled out of her neck and all over his interstellar space mattress. How could Amelia Spark, who was a Class 9 life form with a rigid exoskeleton and a 6-channel heart assisted by a Kelehextrian brand cybernetic pacemaker, be leaking liquid? Secondly, neither Lone nor Amelia had aged at all over the past 5 years. How could this be? The only race that currently had access to the anti-aging chambers of Conrail 14 were the Isomeranians, and they weren't going to give it up for just anything. It was then Lone knew the sick truth of the matter. "Gigs up, giant metallic spider! Let me out of this interstellar dream cage!" he screamed. It was then that all of Lone's world, everything he knew for the past 5 years, turned into static and collapsed. He sat there in Amelia's interstellar space quarters, spinning slowly in his dream web, as the spider did terrible sexual things to Amelia Spark. For 5 years it had created a simulated dream world for Lone to experience a false sense of bliss in. All the while it had repeatedly raped Amelia with its long fiber-optic tentacles. Already Lone had speculations the dream world was part of a holomorphic simulation, with an abundance of qubits laden about in particular algorithms to mirror perfectly the physical interaction of his interstellar biofeedback processes. Touch, smell, sex. None of it was real, all of it an interstellar space hologram created by his arch-nemesis, a giant metallic spider. He had no time to mourn for his lost time. This time he was going to save time. Then came that hideous monotone voice from the belly of that machinery, its Grungelian brand Voxbox, no doubt installed by Jasminian aristocrats. "Don't you see, Lone? I've won. I've kept you in an interstellar dreamscape. While I raped your lover, you were alone. You will always be alone." Lone had no time to shed a tear over the cruel words of a nemesis, or to even consider those ridiculous words of hate. He hopped down from what was left of his dream platform and ran at the tyrannical cybernetic beast. But the metallic beast wasn't going to take this laying down, as if it could even lay down with all of its robotic legs. The spider opened its quantum disbursement cavity and let out a beam of isoelectronic phase-modulating disturbance, a flash of energy so hot it would sunburn even a Tellurian. But his muscles weren't completely wasted from his 5 years in the dream cage. He dodged it. The spider shot again, and he dodged it. And the spider shot again, but he dodged it. And the spider shot again, and he dodged it. The spider shot again, but he dodged it. The spider shot once more, and he dodged it. The spider shot again, and he dodged it. The spider shot but again, and he dodged it. The spider shot again, and he deflected it with his Talmanian armband talisman, a rare piece of metal that his father had given him when he took the reins of Voyageur Squadron 14. Just a naive space punk with a head full of air and a heart full of lust. The spider shot again, but he dodged it. The spider shot again, and he dodged it. The spider shot once more, and he dodged it. The spider shot again, and he dodged it. The spider shot again, but he dodged it. He was finally within reach of the hideous thing. He jumped up onto it using his superior calf muscles, with a little help from his Tigerian jetpack isotope dispersing spaceware. He plunged his bare hands deep into the spider's cybernetic core. "Rape this," he shouted as he was tearing out wires like a fevered Caldrassian miner on the streets of Tumbiblia 7. The spider shut down in an instant. "Amelia, are you okay? Will you ever be able to forget about the rape that took place here?" "Oh, Lone, I already have. Run away with me. Run away with me to the shores of Caldrexia. We won't have to deal with space spiders and metallic hard drives. Oh, Lone, you've had so many girlfriends. Run away with me. You'll never be lonely." "Shut up, Amelia," he spoke. "They sent that one. You don't think they'll send more?" "No, some interstellar travelers were made to stay in one place. Others were made to travel the galaxy in constant search for foes and steamy interstellar romance. My place was, is, and always will be here." Yeah, for more steamy intergalactic action, check out next edition of Voyageur Squadron 14.